that's a chunky boy. Welcome to another episode of Chilled Angler. We're out at the lake, just got off of work, and this is a new lake. We're going to be fishing for some trout. I saw that it was recently stocked, and if I turn you around, we got this nice little spot here where hopefully we'll hook up on some fish. I'll run you guys through what I'm using today. Simple power bait setup. I'll throw you guys on the chest and yeah, updated. Oh, there's a fish right there. I don't know if he's still on there. Feels like it. What would you look at that? Oh yeah. Nice spider. Awesome. Look at this nice fish. Pretty nice sized rainbow. Look at that. First fish of the day. Didn't take long at all. We're gonna bonk this guy and get him on a stringer. Well, that was quick. A little run through on the setup here. We got a ultralight rod, ugly stick, 4'8" with just a pretty crappy Shakespeare reel, 6-pound test. And then up here, we got a 1/2 ounce sliding teardrop weight. Can slide on my line. And about 4 feet a leader to a small little hook. And then I like using these Powerbait eggs. They stay on the hooks really well. Trout love them. So I'm going to go ahead and cast back out there and hopefully we can get our limit. That did not take long at all. When I got here, I had to cast out the rods. Went up to the car to get my GoPro. And here we go, fish number 1. Look at this beautiful little rainbow trout. Thank you, buddy. We're going to cook him up tonight for a little catch and cook action. First one of the season. I went out fishing this last weekend, and in Washington State, it was just absolutely awful to be out here. I mean, just stormy. The lake was white capping, and caught a small one, more than that. And we just ended up letting it go because couldn't really make a meal out of it. But super stoked that this after work sesh has already provided us one fish. Let me go ahead and recast this one. This one has a longer leader. I like to kind of stagger my leaders right when I get to the lake so I can kind of figure out what the best depth is. You know, especially with fishing a new lake, you don't really know what you're working with in terms of weeds on the bottom. So again, same setup, just a longer leader. And this is my go-to setup for trout when I'm trying to put food on the table. It is a bit hard to cast a longer leader. Gotta make sure there's nothing in your way. Sometimes you can kind of watch your line and it'll dictate when a fish grabs it. What a beautiful day. Perfect after work activity. Come hang out by the lake, let traffic die down, catch some dinner. Man, I love trying new lakes. What a beautiful little spot. Looks like there could be some bass in here too. There's some really nice structure up on the shore. Now it's just a waiting game. It's getting hot out here though. I am using super small hooks. When you're using power bait, it's important to have your hooks float. So fish aren't very big. When the season first starts, I always like to do a couple weeks of trout fishing and then kind of transition to bass and summer salmon. So if you like these trout videos, make sure you show this video some love so I can make more of them for you guys. Today's technique is power bait, but on my channel I have one of catching these trout with spinners at one of the lakes up where I'm from in Washington. This one is about 30 minutes away from where I actually live. It's right by my work, so potentially do more videos here. So for trout, the main techniques are going to be power bait, like what I'm doing now, spinners, and bobbers. These are kind of the 3 big ones. Normally, if I'm doing a power bait rig, I'll stagger my fishing where I'll do 1 power bait rig and then 1 bobber rig or spinner rig if you're allowed to fish with 2 poles. Washington State though, man, can be so difficult sometimes. While we're waiting for a bite, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I'm using here. It's these guys. Sparkle eggs. Just absolutely killer for trout. Stay on the hook. Smelly, sparkly. It's gonna get you all sparkly. Just trust me, I have it in my mustache. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish. There's a fish on this one. Oh, we're hooked up. We're hooked up. We're hooked up. Here we go, the new bait coming in. Oh, oh, oh. Stay out of the weeds, sir. Oh, that's a chunky boy. That is a big trout. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Oh. Guys, look at this trout. Holy crap. We're just gonna take care of him real quick. My goodness. Look at this. Look at this football. Guys, that is a nice sized trout. Wow. Such beautiful colors too. Awesome. Just to give you guys an idea, I'll put this one right here. Look at how much bigger this fish is than the last one. Let's get back after. What a fish. That's gotta be the biggest stalker trout that I've caught in a long time. Normally they're like maybe 10 inches. That one's probably 13. I shot a ruler. So just a little quick mid-fishing update. We got 2 on the bank and oh, we're getting another hit. That one just got slapped. Well, I'm gonna set you guys up right here. Snap my line. That sucks. Now I gotta get rigged back up. Oh, that happens sometimes. I had a super heavy weight so I can cast it out further and yeah, just tried to flick it too hard and snap it goes. So we're gonna throw you back on the chest. Just had one jump straight out. Oh, I got a fish on here. Didn't even know it. Let's go. Wonder how long he was on there. I guess sometimes it happens. Super blue. Can tell it's a hatchery fish because it has that pond rub up here. But 3 down, 2 to go. But look at the one I just caught compared to the one before that. It's like his big brother. And look at the size difference. Let's at least get this rod back out there. And then we can figure out a rig for the rod that snapped. Makes casting. Dang, I wonder if that one was just on it or you grabbed it before, but I was reeling in and guess I had a fish. I think the fish grabbed this one. One, it's not tight anymore. Yeah. Fish on. Fish on. Feels better. Feels better. No. No, he's stuck in the weeds. Oh no. See if I just give him some line, if he'll swim out.
Another one that floats back up.
Oh, that's a nice one. Let's go. We got him. Let's go. Fish number 4. With another football. So on that one, the line basically went from being super tight to not being tight at all. So I knew a fish had picked it up and started running with it. That was a better size one. For sure. Put him on the stringer here. A little bit bigger than that last one we caught. This middle one was still the biggest. He's starting to lose some of his color. But look at the overhead view. Look at how much bigger that one in the middle is. It's huge. Alright, one more fish to go. And then we are done for the day, headed home. Cook these bad boys up. That one is big. And I keep going back to it, but that's a nice sized trout. That's the whole hand right there. I should measure it and see how long it is. I'm guessing like 13, 14 inches. Shit. Pretty good little session there. Got a full limit of trout at a new lake. I would say that's a success. And now we're gonna head home and cook them up. I think trout fishing for me is always super fun after a long winter of not catching anything. Especially some of those bigger ones we caught today. Those are definitely probably some of the bigger stock trout that I've caught. Normally when I'm fishing up in where I'm from, where I live, the trout that are stocked are like probably 8 inches, if that. So to catch some, 12, 13, 14-inch trout, I'll see if I can measure them when I get home, but that's fantastic feeling. And also going out this last weekend and not really catching anything, it's just another reminder to myself that no matter when you're fishing, you can always have off days. And even if your setup is right and you're using the right bait, sometimes the fish just don't bite. I mean, today to go there and catch 5 trout in about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, and then to spend like 4 hours on Saturday and then even yesterday and not really catch anything, just goes to show that sometimes you just gotta keep going and eventually success finds its way to you. Overall, super happy with that afterward trip. New lake, big trout, sunshine. That's probably the biggest thing. I care less if I catch fish, but sitting out in the sun honestly just recharges my batteries, and it's refreshing to say the least. I'm super excited for bass season. I'll probably do a couple more trout videos, but then it's just on the bass season and trying to catch a monster bass. I've been wanting to break my PB. I believe my PB is like 6.12. So 6 pounds, 12 ounces. And that was up north near the Canadian border. But for Washington, that's pretty big. I know some of the lakes around here have big bass. We're talking, 8s, 9s, maybe a double digit. Each year they get tougher to find. I feel like more and more people are fishing, and that's totally okay. There's definitely some lakes that the fish have refuges. Is that the right word? And can go and, get away from people and grow big. There's a lake up in Whatcom County that is known for big bass and big catfish. I think the record catfish out of there is 36 pounds. So I've also, come to think of it, never caught a channel cat. So that is also a bucket list fish for this coming season. I want to catch a big channel. And when I say big, I'm talking 10 pounds or more. I would love to get my hands on one of those. Maybe do a fish fry, bread them up, and eat them with some ranch or something. But other than that, I think it's a couple more trout videos and then on to bass and hitting the bass spawn. They should be getting feisty. I had a hookup the other day and lost it when I was trying to film a video for you guys. And then after that, we'll do some spring king salmon and hopefully catch one. I've never caught a spring king salmon, so I've caught sockeye, but not a spring chinook. So we'll kind of use a similar setup as the sockeye. But then we're in full circle to sockeye fishing from the bank, and that's going to be plunking. And caught a few last year doing it, so I kind of have a better understanding of what I'm doing. And then moving straight into sockeye fishing at the lake, Baker Lake or Lake Wenatchee. Once that ends, it's pretty much king salmon, coho salmon, chum salmon, and that's kind of the outlook for content this year. Hoping to plan some camp catch and cook trips with my sister and Arthur, who is in her fiance, who's in one of my other camp catch and cook, where we took the boat across the lake and camped for a night, did some kokanee fishing. Oh, speaking of kokanee, we'll probably do some episodes of kokanee. I would love to do like a kokanee versus trout taste test, just so everyone at home knows kind of the difference between the two. I love kokanee. I love salmon. I like trout, but I think if I could eat either of them, I'm going to choose kokanee. Some camp catching cooks in Washington State. So going up into the mountains, doing some camp catching cooks. And then also just exploring more of what our state has to offer. Washington is such a beautiful state and a beautiful area that there's so many different lakes and trails and stuff that you can hike to and find those fish. Today was a prime example, coming home from work, getting done with work at 5 and driving 15 minutes, 10 minutes to a lake and catching my limit of trout. How cool is that? So I'm going to continue my drive home. That was my little spiel for the day. I hope you got out there and fished for opening day or this week and enjoy the sunshine. But I will reconvene with you once we get back home and we're ready to cook these trout up. I'll see you at my house. We've prepared our trout and we're ready to cook this guy up. This is the biggest one we caught, and I'm going to throw you guys in this tripod mount and kind of walk you through the recipe I'm thinking. We're definitely going to be using butter, but as far as the other seasonings, I'm just going to kind of grab whatever I have in my cabinet and see how it turns out. So first, I'm going to do some butter in the pan. Get it sizzling. Can't go wrong with butter. We're going to let that sizzle. And then we're going to go ahead and drop our filet in here. Keep calling it a filet, but just prepared trout. And I'm going to start with some garlic powder. Make sure we get the inside as well. Love my garlic. We're also going to do paprika. This is the garlic I'm using. Paprika next. Okay. And we're gonna season this other side. probably ready. It looks nice and crispy. See how it flakes here. That's what we're working with. Pretty crispy. Little burnt pieces, but you know, I can't cook it perfect every time. This is what we're working with. Pretty crazy to think this was swimming a couple hours ago. And we're gonna pair it with some 4 cheese instant potatoes. Nice and easy. Okay, taste test for the fish we caught today, rainbow trout. Nice little big old piece with some skin. Garlic, paprika, black pepper, butter, and that's pretty much it. That's good stuff. The skin is really good. I'm normally not really a fan of fish skin. Gotta pull out some bones here. I would recommend doing the skin like that because it's nice and crispy and crunchy. It is delicious. Pretty big trout too. I mean, he's had 2 bites and we got the rest of him to go. So I'm going to cook up those mashed potatoes and basically dive in. Thank you for watching today. A little recap, we went out to a lake that is right by my work, probably a 10-minute drive. Super nice way to end the day. And we were able to catch 5 trout using a Powerbait method. How you set that rig up is you have a sliding weight to a swivel, and then a 4 or 5 foot leader to a little hook with some Powerbait eggs. I personally love using those Powerbait eggs because they stay on the hook. You can get multiple uses out of them. We had some come off today, but that's just kind of fishing. And then they work. I mean, we were out there for about an hour and a half and got the job done, and then came home and cooked up a nice crispy trout. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my dinner. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.